What's up, YouTube? So today we're gonna be installing an angle kit on the Lexus. So I got the Easy Knuckles V3.5 kit. So basically it's the same thing as the V2 kit where you get the same amount of angle, but the difference is that you can add more suspension arms if you want to get more angle later. So I decided, just to get the V3. I'm not gonna do anything crazy right now or anything like that. Just keep it simple, just install these. And you have to cut your ball joint, you put it here, bolt it down, and also plug the tie rod in. All right, so that stock angle right there, maxed out. The IS300 really doesn't have bad angle stock at all. What's that, like 30 something degrees probably? Maybe 40 on this side. I think this kit probably give you about 60 maybe, close to 60. We'll get the car up, get ready to take these ball joints off. The car's in the air now, so I believe the first thing we need to do, based on Easy Knuckles video, is we gotta take this tie rod loose first. I think they said it was like a 17, 14, might be 17. Let's see. This gotta be 17. I gotta see if I can find a 17 millimeter wrench and take this loose. I already took the little pin out, which is this right here. You can't get the pin out of that bottom ball joint. That's probably because there's a lot of tension on it. So let's get to it. Got my old man working right now. I'm trying to get the tie rod out. We got the bolt loose, but it's not coming loose from the... All right, so I got the other side done, and was actually struggling with that side, trying to figure out how everything goes, because it's the first time doing it. So I'm gonna go over this side or whatever. So to make it a little bit easier, you can just take this top bolt out and this bottom bolt out and take the little caliper off. And then the first thing you need to do is take this cotter pin out and take this castle nut loose. And then you'll take the little ball joint nut loose. And it's a 14 mil nut for the calipers. I'm trying to get these loose. I broke my knuckles with that one. Pretty easy. Here's two 14 mil nuts to the caliper. Put those down. And just, let's see. Should be able to just slide it back. It's been a little tough. Slid the caliper off. There's brake pads. Okay. Worry about that later. Go ahead and take it out. So you just take this cotter pin out of the castle nut right here. Just put that down. You don't necessarily need it for later because of the way they designed the kit. Let me zoom in. This castle nut, I believe that's what's it, 17? Yep, 17. Try to loosen that. All right, gotta loosen it as much as we can. And now you get the pin out of the castle nut on the ball joint, and then loosen this a 19 mil. So you use a socket or you use a wrench, whichever one is best for you. All right, so I got the cotter pin out. Here it is. It was a real pain in the ass to get out, but I finally got it out. There's a pain in the ass on the other side too. I mean, I know you're supposed to use them, but fuck it, I'm just have to buy some more. So like I said, 19 mil. And you just get it loose. You get both of them loose enough. And then it'll be this bolt, and there'll be one on the other side that you also have to loosen. And then you'll be able to pull up the entire knuckle and get the ball joint up out of there. But of course, at first you have to take the tie rod out, which is gonna be the hardest part. So let's get up into it. And as well, I'm only using my phone right now, not my GoPro, so it's kind of hard to film and do this at the same time. So I'm just gonna get the steps as it go. And as well, you can find out how to do it just by going on Easy Knuckles channel. And they actually have, it's for the V2 kit, but this is the same concept. These are the two bolts I was talking about that goes up under and into the ball joint to hold the knuckle onto the ball joint. So I just loosen these up. I actually had to use the handle from the jack on the socket to get it loose. Now I gotta get this loose from here. And you can either leave the ball joint on here and cut it right here, or you just take it off and cut it and then install it onto your adapter piece right here. So we'll go ahead and try and get this loose from the ball joint, or get the ball joint loose from the lower control arm, and then get to cutting it and reinstall. With some persuasion with this mallet, got the tie rod loose from the ball joint, and now I got the ball joint loose from the lower control arm. Right here, and you're just gonna cut it right here. You can make it all smooth if you want to, but it really doesn't matter as long as you have this arm, and then as long as you cut that piece of the arm off. Here's my ball joint. We cut the extra arm off. And it's basically gonna sit like this. And you gotta make sure that these pins and the ball joint itself is actually flat. So it needs to be completely flat like this, and then you put the bolts through. But with this V3 kit, you basically just bolt it straight up to the knuckle instead of with the V2 where it had like a little extra section to bolt it up to the knuckle. So I'm going to demonstrate that. And you should also spray that area that you had cut, obviously, to keep it from rusting. I didn't have black, so I'm just going to use the little caliper gray that I used, which is what that color is right there. Here's one of the bolts right here that goes through. So basically go like that, and it'll be upside down. Let me get it in there. So here's the ball joint where it's supposed to go on the lower control arm. This is where, that's the orientation that it used to be at. I'm not sure. We should probably cut that down some more, but on the other side, I actually had swapped it the other way. I didn't even realize that I did it. And it still fit right. Because the tie rod would go right here. And it bolts it up. But I don't know if that will stop you with the angle. I mean, it shouldn't even be going this far anyway, but we'll try it, see what happens. If it don't work, it don't work. If it does, it does. Like I was saying, you would do that. Put this on top of the ball joint, as so. Make sure these pins, like I said, goes into the grooves that they're supposed to. And then you take the bolt, the little Allen key bolt, it's a 10 mil Allen. Put it all the way through, and then you put the knuckle on top of it and screw it down as if it was one of these original bolts that connect the ball joint to the knuckle. Pretty straightforward. And when you do that, you then need to put the new tie rod in that they give you, which is right here. You then take the old one off, unless you want to use the old one, and put it through here, and it had this nut right here in a groove, so you can put a socket in there and reconnect it. Now I believe that bolt right here is probably gonna be in your way. I think it's a 17, so you just take that loose real quick and then tighten down the bolt for the tie rod in, and then put that bolt right back. You should be all good.